Today, we're diving into the world of prepping and preparedness, but with a twist. We're going to talk about some foods that might seem innocent, but trust me, you do not want to stockpile these in your pantry. Why? Well, you're about to find out. So subscribe and grab a snack, sit back, and let's get into it. All right, folks, let's take a closer look at our first sneaky suspect in the world of stockpiling: canned goods. Now, before you go diving into a sea of cans like Scrooge McDuck, let's unpack why some canned foods might not be your best bet for the long haul. First up, we have the humble canned tomato. Now, don't get me wrong, tomatoes are a pantry staple for a reason. They're versatile, delicious, and packed with nutrients. But here's the catch. The acidity of tomatoes can cause the lining of the can to break down over time. Picture this. You're in your survival bunker, hunger strikes, and you crack open a can of tomatoes, only to find that it's been contaminated by the very container it was stored in. Talk about a canned catastrophe. And it's not just tomatoes that you need to watch out for. Other acidic foods like citrus fruits and vinegar-based products can also wreak havoc on your canned goods over time. So unless you want to play Russian roulette with your pantry, it's best to rotate your canned foods regularly and keep an eye out for any signs of corrosion. Remember, folks, when it comes to canned goods, it's better to be safe than sorry. So before you stockpile enough canned tomatoes to feed a small army, think twice and consider the shelf life of your survival stash. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite comfort food, pasta. From spaghetti to penne, pasta is a pantry staple beloved by many. But before you start stockpiling enough noodles to open your own Italian restaurant, let's uncover the truth about the perils of pasta. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dry pasta lasts forever, right? Well, not quite. While it's true that dry pasta has a longer shelf life compared to fresh pasta, it's not immune to spoilage. Here's the deal. If pasta isn't stored properly, it can become a breeding ground for bugs and bacteria. And let me tell you, finding creepy crawlies in your spaghetti is not my idea of a fun dinner. So how can you protect your pasta stash from turning into a horror show? It's simple, really. Just make sure to store your pasta in a cool, dry place away from moisture and humidity, whether it's in an airtight container or a resealable bag. Keeping your pasta protected from the elements is key to ensuring its longevity. And if you're feeling extra cautious, you can even toss in a few bay leaves to help ward off any unwanted pests. While pasta might seem like the ultimate survival food, it's important to store it properly to avoid any unappetizing surprises down the road. Because when it comes to pasta, nobody wants a sight of bugs with their spaghetti. Cheese lovers, brace yourselves because we're about to tackle a cheesy conundrum: moldy cheese. Now, I know what you're thinking. Moldy cheese is just blue cheese, right? Wrong. Let's slice through the myth and uncover the truth about cheese storage. Cheese, with its myriad of flavors and textures, is a culinary delight loved by many. But here's the twist. While aged cheeses might seem like they're built to last, they're actually prime targets for mold growth. Picture this. You've stocked up on all your favorite cheeses for the long haul, only to discover that they've turned into a fuzzy science experiment. Moldy cheese might seem harmless to some, but trust me, it's not something you want to mess with. Not only can moldy cheese ruin the taste and texture of your beloved fromage, but it can also pose serious health risks if consumed. So before you take a gamble on that moldy wedge of brie, think twice and consider the consequences. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I prevent my precious cheese stash from succumbing to mold? Well, fear not, cheese aficionados, because I've got you covered. The key to keeping your cheese mold-free is proper storage. Make sure to wrap your cheese tightly in wax paper or parchment paper before placing it in the fridge. And if you notice any mold starting to form, don't hesitate to cut off the affected areas and rewrap the cheese to prevent further contamination. While cheese might be a tasty addition to your survival pantry, it's important to keep a close eye on it to avoid any cheesy disasters. Because when it comes to cheese, mold is definitely not the secret ingredient you're looking for. Now let's talk about those deceptive delights that promise sweetness, but deliver a sugar-coated nightmare. The candy aisle, a paradise of colorful wrappers and sugary seduction. But before you start filling your cart with these saccharine snacks, let's talk about the dark side of indulgence. Did you know that many of these innocent-looking treats are packed with enough sugar to send your insulin levels into a tailspin? It's true. Excessive sugar consumption not only wreaks havoc on your waistline, but can also lead to a host of health issues, from diabetes to heart disease. And let's not forget about the processed foods that line the shelves, promising convenience but delivering a cocktail of chemicals and preservatives. Trust me, folks, you don't want to be munching on mystery ingredients when the apocalypse hits. When it comes to stocking your pantry, skip the sugar-laden snacks and opt for healthier alternatives like dried fruits or nuts. It's time to turn our attention to another unsuspecting culprit: perishable foods. Ah, the beauty of fresh produce. Those colorful berries and crisp greens can certainly make your mouth water. But in the world of prepping, These perishable goodies can quickly turn from farm fresh to downright foul. Picture this. You've stocked up on a bounty of fresh fruits and veggies, ready to fuel your body with all the vitamins and nutrients it needs. But alas, without proper preservation methods, those once vibrant veggies can quickly become a breeding ground for mold and bacteria. It's a tragic tale as old as time, my friends. No one wants to reach for a crunchy carrot only to find it slimy and mushy. Trust me, it's a culinary catastrophe waiting to happen. So, what's a savvy prepper to do? Opt for hardy root vegetables like potatoes and carrots, or stock up on dehydrated goods that'll keep your pantry panic-proof. As we venture deeper into the labyrinth of perilous pantry items, we stumble upon a staple that many consider a convenient go-to: deli meats. But beware, my friends, for these seemingly harmless slices may harbor a sinister secret. Picture this. You're crafting the perfect sandwich, layering slices of turkey and ham with precision. But before you take that first bite, let's unravel the mystery behind those cold cuts. Processed meats, such as deli slices, are often packed with preservatives, additives, and enough sodium to make your blood pressure skyrocket. It's like a heart attack waiting to happen, disguised as a sandwich. And let's not forget about the nitrates and nitrites lurking within. These sneaky substances have been linked to an increased risk of cancer and other health issues. Not exactly the protein-packed pantry staple you were hoping for. So what's a hungry prepper to do? Opt for canned beans, which are packed with protein and fiber, or indulge in some homemade jerky for a savory snack that won't send your blood pressure soaring. And there you have it. By avoiding these dangerous foods, you'll ensure that your pantry is packed with wholesome, long-lasting goodies that'll keep you fueled and flourishing during any crisis. Remember, preparation is key, but so is knowing what not to stockpile. Until next time, happy prepping and stay safe out there.